kick things off with Prof. And Prof, I'll take your preliminary thoughts on the president's address yesterday.
Yes.
We've seen a number of ratings. I've seen ratings range from 23% all the way through to 100%, which is what the president says he has achieved in the 120 days. What are your thoughts?
First, as an academic, I will give him credit for effort, and I add everything to. I'll give him a B+. Because some of the stuff he's got to do are not yet ready. So far, I'll give him a B+.
A B+.
Yes.
All right, I'll take that rating. Mr. Kotin, what about you? Preliminary thoughts and also your rating on the 120 days of the President Mahama administration.
Well, if I do a comparative analysis under the fourth Republican Constitution, and given that he's coming back as a former president, and what he has achieved so far, I'll give him a B, primarily because there are teething problems I was expecting better from him, like the Galamsey issue, the fight against corruption, and the accountability aspect. But let me be clear, that wasn't part of the social contract, but I feel that from what he started, and given the 25 promises he made, I think he got a lot of them right, and some are the teething stages, like the 24-hour economy. There's no way he could have kickstarted it within the 128 days, because there are legal regulatory framework he needs to look at. And I'm using this opportunity to say that, look, let's be nationalistic, and programs that will benefit the country, we put politics aside. Like the Free Senior High School is a good program, and I'm happy it's continuing about it. The 24-hour economy, Prof is here, my other colleague is here. We've all traveled around the world. That is what advanced economies are doing. And more often than not, we learn from best practices. So we need to move away from the monthly salary and go by the hourly rates, so that workers can be paid every week. The advantage of that is that it stimulates the economy and it creates wealth for the country. I will leave that's my initial comment on this.
Thank you for that. Frank, I'll come to you, but before that, let me also welcome Professor Enoch Opoku Antwi. He's a governance expert. Prof, hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Very excited to pick your thoughts on our discussion this morning, so do hang tight for us. Frank, let me come to you. Your preliminary thoughts as well, and what your rating is.
Yes, I'll take a cue from Prof and give the government a B+. Reasons being that we are in this country, we know how the politics of the fourth Republican government have played. All the time, a government or a party will say one thing, when they come into power, they do the other. The president was under no obligation to give us a social contract. At least he said it. 120 days, he's been able to prove that he will stay by his word, he will stay by the word. And I think it's a good start. It's a good start for Ghanaians. And I think proud to even his presentation yesterday on social media, people are talking about where is the dollar running to. The key has the key been found? You understand? If the key has been found, then it seems the government is locking it up somewhere. So I think, yes, for starters, the president, kudos to him, more grace to their elbows, and we are here, and we'll still be critics of whatever they do, in which way.
So it sounds as though across the board, the consensus is that, at least on this program, that it's a good start. But of course, we're delving deeper into certain thematic areas, and I'll find out if any of our ratings change after we've had our big conversation this morning. Professor Antwi, let me also get your preliminary thoughts and what your rating is of the president's 120 days in office.
Thank you. In my rating, I look at the holistic way of, since we returned to constitutional rule from 1992 to now, various governments. And this is the first government after 1992 that 120 days we've never had any scandal, which is a great thing. It's a very monumental achievement because scandals reflect on bad governance. Then jobs is one of my major things that I was looking for. So if you look at the job composition, they're really working on it. Ajumara is there, 10,000 jobs yearly. That will run to 40,000 jobs. My hope is that nobody will pay anything to apply for a job in this country. If you look at the code of conduct, this is unprecedented, and it's a moral compass for all political appointees, which is really great, because corruption is really killing this country. If you look at the leanest government, this government has done it. If you look at the promise of forming his cabinet within 14 days, and the speed with that Parliament was able to approve all his appointees, that was also great. If we talk about the Constitutional Review Committee that is doing their job, this is the time we have to test the robustness of our Constitution, and it has really come at the right time. The Education Reform Committee did their job. We have seen a lot of cuts in the waste in the system, especially the 6th March. We didn't spend much money as we've been spending the previous administration. E-levy, emission tax, 10% debt tax removed. Sanitary pad is also one of the areas, because I went to the villages, talked to them, and these girls had a great problem in that. I think it's the right policy in the right direction. And we've reduced a lot of expenditure. ORA is there. So holistically, and somebody was just talking about the dollar. The dollar has reduced from 17 to 14. And that means that our city is really doing well in the international market. And then we also talk about inflation that is going down every month. So holistically, this government has done well. The first 120 days, I'll give the government 80%, which is an A.
Prof, thank you for that. Those are your preliminary thoughts. 80% B plus and then 2 Bs.